But okay, so Wack decides to bring this stuff out. Like I don't know, just like what feelings does it give you when you realize that? And you could tell that Ack was like pretty uncomfortable with it as well. Ack was not really trying to.
Because Ack will take any chance he can get to kind of like dig in on like the West Coast dudes.
And I love how Ack's immediate default emotion was to be like, well, how can Kendrick, like, why did Kendrick make a diss song about Nipsey then?
That was hilarious, right? Like,
I was like, why is Axe thinking about Drake and Kendrick at this moment? That was so funny.
Right. No, but hey, listen, when I first heard that, what I thought was, bro, man, like, this is going to end badly, right? Again, like, I feel like Wack is smart enough to not kind of like get caught in a crosshair, like Wack probably, right? But that dude who called in and was talking about it, I assume he's not probably as rich as Wack, or don't probably have like the savvy.
But he said if anybody has a problem with it, then he'll blow him down.
Yeah, that usually don't end well for people who talk like that, right? Like,
he's blowered up. We don't know who he is, but he's out here ready to step.
Right? Because Wack says, yo, listen, I'm savvy enough, I'm rich enough, I got a team, I move around better. That other dude was like, oh, I'll blow y'all down. That usually, folks who talk like that usually are the ones who like die first, right? Like the ones who are savvy like Wack, they usually live a full and prosperous life.
Well, is the other dude like a gang member?
No,
he's not.
Sure. Oh, okay.
No.
That kind of like makes part of the story, which I'm not going to say like a little bit.
I figured if Nip was recruiting a bull that he would go within his own section, but I guess it makes sense that he wouldn't as well.
Well, okay, do he count as a bull?
I mean, if you bring another dude
because a bull, so don't a bull means like you watch them breed the person?
Not literally breed, but like for sure, yeah. Like if you want a guy to come cuck you, even if you're involved with it, I consider that to be the bull. Okay. I only ever hear that term used to describe like the male porn star guys that I know who basically do like escorting work. But I don't know. I mean, like, I guess like nobody here is necessarily like the expert that would have
brave enough to talk about it.
Well, more so like to ask the question of like, what does this revelation, if you want to call it that, do to Nip's legacy? Like, how important is this to people? Like how is this going to change how he's viewed? Are they going to stop having murals up for him and shit? Like, to a certain extent, I feel like this is such ugly content that like most people are just not really going to be paying attention to this. They're going to block it out, cover their ears.
No, hell no. Again, and here's why. So in terms of Nipsey Hussle's musical legacy to hip hop fans, it's not really going to do anything. But I feel like it's a Tupac effect. For the first 30 years after Tupac passed away, Tupac was the epitome of thug, gangster, real. The last decade or 15 years, bro, there's been a concerted effort to tell us how much of a fraud Pac was, how he wasn't really gangster, he was a civilian, he was perpetrating. Now, with the street crowd, just people talking about it, to me, won't do nothing.
But if
the video exists and it does come out, that legacy is kind of.
Oh my God! If the video comes,
that's different. But the thing is, there's no social media for the first 15 years of after Pac passed. It wasn't nearly as prevalent as it is now.
That's why Pac was, like a god.
No, exactly. But I'm saying like it doesn't take that long for shit to come out about people nowadays. Like the chinks in Pac's armor would have been a lot more obvious. And if you ask a lot of people from Compton and Watts, particularly Crips, they already looked at Pac as a fraud for a long ass time.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like, they didn't have a voice to speak about it.
Hence G Malone's song.
This is all connected to the Nipsey situation, right?
What?
This is all
we're comparing the Pac to the Nipsey.
The thing with that is this. It's this saying by Umar Johnson. He's like, don't let people take your heroes away from you, right? The day Wack does a quarter as much good for the hood as Nipsey did, then I'll listen to what he has to say about Nipsey.
For which hood though? Like
for any hood.
I feel like Wack has done enough for his hood.
He's
like
nowhere near the impact of Nipsey Hussle.
For his hood? For
anybody.
Hood?
I mean, with like,
I've been a Wack hood, and Wack is a god in his hood.
I sat here silently.
Okay.
I sat here silently without you glazing, Wack.
No, but I actually...
Let me finish. Let me finish my statement, bro.
Okay, go ahead.
You're talking about Wack did for his hood. I don't know what he's done for his hood. All I know is I didn't hear nothing about it. What I know is Nipsey Hussle, everything he did, it was making headlines. Bro was revolutionizing the industry, doing more than any of these rappers ever did for their hood in a very public way.
It's not wrong.
If you're not matching that, like if Jay-Z said some shit about Nipsey, okay, he's on that level. But Nipsey did more for the hood than anybody.
If Wack
from
was
that.
here, he'd say, hell no, Nipsey ain't on Jay-Z's level.
No, I'm talking about as far as his ability
He's
to do
talking
it.
about philanthropy and things like that.
But it's not
Nipsey
philanthropy.
building.
is more
Creating
famous.
businesses,
Community building.
creating businesses,
But Wack has done that.
creating work. Listen, we're gonna get back to this. Creating businesses, putting LA, that section on the map, making that little bad area of LA into a damn tourist attraction. I saw Japanese people over there taking pictures of the mural. So,
Konnichiwa.
right. So I just believe if you haven't been able to have the impact that guy had, just let him rest in peace. Because it's only meant to tear down. There's nothing positive that comes from this. And I just feel like Wack knows better than that. But hey, whatever. But you will sit up. If it was you, you would be like, oh, there's just certain things we don't talk about, like you was just doing when I was bringing up Rich Trapper. Now, when it's somebody else, yeah, let's just drag a nigga to the dirt. I'm not doing that.
I'm not dragging nobody to the dirt.
Yeah, you are.
And he brought up a discussion involving the very public stream last night that did like 400,000 views with academics, Wack talking about Nipsey. And I'm saying is this, culturally, of course, Nipsey Hussle is more famous, had more impact on hip hop culture. But to say that, for their specific hoods, I've been to Wack hood. I can see how they talk about Wack and how they view Wack and what Wack has done for people in that hood. Yeah. I'm saying it's unfair to say that Wack has not started businesses, has not created an ecosystem in that hood, right? That has benefited people. That's again, you can say, Nipsey has done more. I'm not arguing that, but Wack has done a lot for himself.
And if Wack passed away or passed on, and somebody was trying to drag him to the dirt posthumously, I would say the same damn thing. Hey, if you ain't on bro level doing that as much as he's done for people, just let him rest in peace.
I think that the biggest difference is that like we're used to celebrities getting tons of bad publicity and then still being famous or whatever. Wack has got like more bad publicity than almost anybody ever. And meanwhile, on the other hand, Nipsey, during his life, really, we almost never saw anything bad said about him. The worst that you could say about him was what he had a temper. He spazzed out on some security guards and paparazzi over the years, Whereas Nipsey was very much able to maintain an aura and an image of him being this very like pure saint-like rapper, even though he was obviously involved with the and everything when he was younger. But that being said, I think it's very off-putting to a lot of people that bad things, smut, etc. Well, not really smut, but because that's one interesting thing that they say about it is that Nipsey allegedly wasn't really trying to hide this part of his life that much. That he was. I heard into some stuff that was a little freaky.
Well, I mean,
this was after he was famous.
Why did this guy come out now and talking about this?
Because on Danza Project, a lot of people was calling Wack a liar for saying the tape existed. So Wack said, okay, well, you're calling me a liar? Okay, hey, talk about it.
But why put that stuff out there, which is it's going to feel like a direct attack on Nipsey and his estate and his friends and his family when the only person that said that it wasn't true was Danza, who's a random ass podcaster in Miami that doesn't speak for the estate or anything. And keep in mind, Wack putting out all this information comes freshly on the heels of Wack also spreading the narrative that Laura London was probably getting piped down by Diddy, which is like, at a certain point, it just appears that you are very vested and interested in spreading negative information about a dead man who didn't do anything to you. You didn't know him. You didn't have anything to do with him. And you didn't say about him while he was alive, which granted, you probably didn't know about any of this stuff.
Isn't it kind of like his way to also be like you to Big U some more? Because
hell no, Big U was not an enemy.
I know that Big U and Nipsey had like a contentious relationship like towards the end, but also that was at one point Big U's artist. That was like his shining diamond of pride.
I don't think Big U could care less about Nipsey, bro. Like, right? Like,
Big U ain't worried about that right now, but getting out of jail.
Life right now, bro. He don't like.
But it's beyond that. It's like trying to tarnish his legacy. It's like throwing dirt on it. You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy. Nipsey is a source of pride for everybody, but particularly for the '60s. And this is kind of like rubbing their face in the dirt.